Here's more wrestling news for December 6, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include Bryan Danielson wants to create his own faction in AEW, Bray Wyatt seemingly hacked by PS5 scammers, news on WWE's plan for New Year's Eve episode of SmackDown, shocking details surrounding Bron Breakker's WWE NXT name, Sammy Guevara says released WWE superstar is never coming to AEW, Brian Cage's current status in AEW, Peacock issues important note ahead of WWE NXT WarGames, thread about lies Hulk Hogan told gets even more attention, Shawn Michaels says NXT 2.0 is the only brand that can create true stars, and more. We're kicking off with Bryan Danielson, the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship, who will face Hangman Adam Page at December 15th's Winter is Coming event. Since becoming the #1 contender, Danielson has acted more heelish and now may want to guarantee a title change later this month with some backup. Speaking to TV Insider, the former WWE World Champion was asked about his future goals in AEW and said that he'd like a group of his own to lead. "If I can get a group together, I'm thinking of a younger talent or two, and that develops into stories within that. Look at Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho. By Sammy joining the Inner Circle, he'd become a bigger star. He then stepped up to the plate and hit home runs. That's how you build young stars. A guy that comes to mind for me is Daniel Garcia." In recent weeks, Danielson has decimated Colt Cabana and Alan Angels on the road to the AEW World title match at Winter is Coming, and whether the American Dragon makes Page's future title reign the shortest to date or not, expect some backup for Bryan Danielson in the near future. In July, Bray Wyatt was released by WWE, and it was later reported that a bad attitude backstage led to his departure. Wyatt hasn't appeared for any other company since then, but this week had a new problem outside the ring. On Twitter, a scammer seemingly hacked Wyatt's account as they claimed to have an extra PlayStation 5 and would be willing to ship it anywhere within the United States for the retail price. As one of WWE's most popular and biggest stars of the past 2 years, Wyatt certainly isn't strapped for cash, as this sale was clearly a scam by a hacker. We certainly hope the former Universal Champion can find out who hacked him and stop this from ever happening again, as everyone needs to take precautions to avoid their accounts getting hacked. Since NXT's revamp in September, few stars have impressed more than Bron Breakker, who has already had an NXT title opportunity against Tommaso Ciampa. While Breakker has impressed many, there are some who believe that he should be competing under the Steiner name, as he's the son of Rick Steiner and nephew of Scott. Speaking to Daily DDT, the young superstar explained how the Bron Breakker name came around, explaining that it wasn't a creation from WWE, but his own idea, which references his days playing football. "That was literally what I tried to do. Snap the opposing team in half and break them. What if I'm the breaker? I break people. Breaker. And then it came to me. Bron is part of my first name, and that's what we went with." Since the relaunch, Breakker has impressed many backstage, not only by his in-ring skill, but by making his own name rather than relying on the Steiner lineage, and whether fans like it or not, expect Bron Breakker to be an even bigger name in the coming years. In the most recent wave of cuts from WWE, Top Dollar and the entirety of Hit Row were cut mere weeks after their call-up to SmackDown. Since then, it's been reported that Dollar had quickly got a bad reputation backstage on SmackDown, which caused serious problems for Ashante Adonis and Isaiah Scott. Part of Dollar's heat came because of his diss tracks, including the one that was caused by his beef with the Young Bucks. WWE didn't appreciate Top Dollar making any reference to the AEW tag team, and fans shouldn't expect the former superstar in the All Elite promotion anytime soon. When speaking on a stream with Alan Angels, TNT champion Sammy Guevara was asked when will Top Dollar make his way to AEW, and replied with a simple never. With WWE cutting as many superstars as they can, all in the name of Nick Khan's budget cuts, plenty of former names have now made it to AEW, but don't ever expect to see Tony Khan sign a contract to bring Top Dollar into the fold. Guevara is doing much better in AEW than Brian Cage, who hasn't appeared on any AEW programming in nearly 2 months. In his last appearance, the former FTW champion lost a title match on the October 10th Rampage to Ricky Starks, and his hiatus has led to speculation about his status. According to Fightful, Cage is still signed to AEW and was present backstage at last week's Dynamite taping, but didn't wrestle nor have an on-screen appearance on the show. Cage didn't wrestle last week but did wrestle on the Chris Jericho Cruise, which Tony Khan has stated is part of the AEW canon. Some have questioned whether Cage's wife may be the reason he's not being used, as she's been very vocal about her husband's booking on social media, which earned the AEW wrestler massive heat within the promotion. Ultimately, it's Tony Khan's choice as to when Cage will wrestle and how he'll look on TV, and despite not being used in months, the former FTW champion remains employed by AEW. More from NXT, as last night's WarGames event was the first major event to happen in the post-takeover era and was viewable on Peacock. However, before the show got started, viewers who tuned into Peacock were given a warning saying they'd not be able to restart or rewind the live stream, and encouraged fans to start watching as soon as the show began. The notice did mention that full replay, including the ability to rewind, would be available once WarGames was over, but the fact that the show could not be rewound or restarted live understandably annoyed fans. This isn't the first time WWE's relationship with Peacock has led to disgruntled fans, and we can only hope that this issue doesn't happen for the next major event that comes from NXT 2.0. Now, Hulk Hogan remains one of wrestling's most iconic stars ever, even if he's also one of its most controversial. Fired from WWE in 2015 after racist remarks came to light, Hogan has since been brought back, but continues to receive a frosty reception from fans, even being booed at WrestleMania 37, where he served as co-host with Titus O'Neil. A few months back, a Twitter user called Alan gathered some of Hogan's grossest lies and exaggerations over the years, and now the account is back exposing the truth about the Hulkster. In a new series of tweets, many of Hogan's biggest claims are disproven, such as when he wrote in his autobiography that he batted an unheard of .714 in the Little League World Series, a statistic that may be unheard of since Terry Bollea never played in its World Series. Hogan has also claimed to have been a lifelong wrestling fan who was hooked at age 9 when he saw Dusty Rhodes beat Dory Funk Sr., despite the fact that Dusty wouldn't debut until 1967 when Hogan was 14. To refute the Hulkster's claims that Bob Backlund was jealous of him and refused to ever work or tag with Hogan, Allen merely shared some pics of the pair working together, joking that it must be CGI. Whether fans like it or not, Hogan is one of wrestling's biggest ever names and was able to appeal to people far beyond wrestling fans, but his incredible life and career apparently needs some more embellishments, according to the former WWF champion. And we're ending today with another all-time great, Shawn Michaels, who's taken on a lot of responsibility in NXT 2.0. Not only is Shawn a coach, but he's also taken on much higher roles in the absence of his best friend Triple H, and HBK is pleased with how the newly revamped show is going. Speaking with Jim Varsalone, Shawn discussed the rebrand and made a huge claim of NXT 2.0, saying, "One of the really cool buzzwords is producing new, young, fresh superstars, and they are actually people who have been around 10 or 15 years and are just now making it out of television. We are the only brand in the entire world that is bringing real, true-to-life, young, fresh men and women that are going to be the stars of Raw and SmackDown in the next 5 to 10 years. It's just that simple. It starts all here. Bron Breakker, Tony D'Angelo, Grayson Waller, numerous other people where you are watching their first, second, third, 10th matches. Breakker, Tony D'Angelo, they're going to go out there at WarGames, one of our biggest shows of the year, and it's their 10th to 15th matches. Nobody's been thrown into the deep end like these young men and women have. They've done a fantastic job, and it's awesome to see." NXT's rebrand may not have won over some fans just yet, but there's no denying that the show is youth-focused right now, and we'll have to see what the likes of Breakker, D'Angelo, Grayson Waller, Von Wagner, Harland, and others are doing in 5 years' time. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.